All right, I think I'm live. Although, due to how Firefox works, I'm not going to be able to see chat. So let me open up Twitch on my fucking phone like a broke ass bitch, and then I'll be able to see chat because the Twitch Labs or Twitch Stream Labs or whatever overlay does not work. Is this live? Live? I am live. Okay. That. Okay. Sweet. I see chat. All right. Love it or hate it. There's a million of these fucking movies. Some people call it cape shit. Some people call it superhero movies. Although, if you're more cynical, you probably call it cape shit. I sadly am a giant cape shit fan. So I'm going to rank all this shit. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh my God. Increase mic volume. All right. What can I do that? Audio mixer. Right. I lowered the threshold just a little bit too. To negative 10 decibels. So hope that fixed it. So I'm gonna rank all this shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 28, 42. Oh my god. This is so many. 42, 56, 70, 84, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 92 films. Oh my god. Why so many fucking superhero movies? Okay. All right. I think this is the Hulk. This is the one with Edward Norton. It was all right. It was very mid tier, very mid tier. It set up the Hulk in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nothing really stand out about it, but it wasn't hot ass either. It was just completely middle of the road. Completely middle of the road. Spider Man with Tobey Maguire, gotta put that in S tier. Have to put that in S tier. Anywhere else would be a crime. Tobey Maguire, the one true Spider Man. Anybody who says otherwise can get bent. X-Men 2. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm gonna save S tier films for probably shit that it's not just a good superhero movie, but it's also like an excellent like film. And like I don't know, the S tier is like shit that like I would want to like I have like in my personal Blu-ray collection just because I'm like I want to watch it like again and again and again. Like it's that there's a bit of a power gap between A tier and S tier. A tier is like really good, but S tier is like I gotta have that shit. So Iron Man 2, people dump all over this movie. Like some people would put this shit in F tier, but I don't think it's F tier. I think it's C tier. It's very similar to the Hulk. I mean, a continued Iron Man story, but it's fine. It's whatever. The first Avengers, mm, I'd put that maybe in B tier. It was cool to see the spectacle of all the Avengers fighting together for the first time on screen, but it doesn't hold up as much. What do you think, honey? What's Avengers? Is that A tier, B tier? My wife's here. The S tier? What is that, honey? You don't want to answer? She's camera shy or mic shy. Iron Man 3. Hmm. I'd probably put that in B tier again. It's all right. It's okay. It's a little bit above average because it kind of has some cool character development with Robert Downey Jr., where he's kind of like suffering from PTSD from the Avengers. But no, I don't think it has enough to get up to an A tier. If there was maybe like a like an extra tier somewhere between like A and B, I might put it in there. But for the most part, I'm just gonna put it in B. Thor: The Dark World. Um, this is going in D. This is going in D. It's not absolute ass like an E or an F tier, but it's pretty fucking boring. Uh, I don't even think any of the shit that like happened in this movie really even gets referenced later on in any of the other Marvel movies. So I'm just gonna put that in D tier. Captain America: Civil War. That's A tier. A tier for sure. That was a pretty fucking good movie. I think that was the first one that the Tom Holland Spider Man was in, and that was pretty cool to see on the big screen. I'm not gonna be able to read chat. My wife just stole my phone that I have chat running up on. Oh no, she took the phone. She took the phone. She's taking the phone to the bathroom. Gonna take a big, fat, smelly, stinky, dumpy shit while listening to me. That's fine. Elektra was the spin-off of the fucking Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. Why did they make this? Why did they make this? This is dog. This is absolute dog shit. This is F. This is absolute F. I remember this being very bad. I've only seen it once, but I remember fucking hating it. And you don't make a spin-off for a character that no one gave a fuck about. Elektra in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie was like hot ass. Like no one gave a shit about the character, and then they made like a whole separate movie, and it was garbage. F tier, absolute F tier. Hey, coming back with my phone. I have my phone back. Good news, boys. All right, Into the Spider Verse. Just watched this one recently. Absolute S tier. God tier animation, cinematography really good, voice acting pretty good, incredible story, good soundtrack, fun script, cool characters. Like no, you can't. Nothing is wrong with this movie. S tier. S tier. Second, Avengers. I'm gonna try and speed up. I don't want this shit to take all night. Second Avengers. I'd probably put this in C tier. It was all right. It was kind of cool. They had some cool action set pieces. Nothing particularly spectacular though. C tier. Thor 3 Ragnarok. Ooh, this is the one with the Hulk. This was a really fun film. Really, really cool color palette. Probably, and that's another thing about Marvel movies is all of them have like the same weird like production standards as far as like color grading, so they all fucking look the same. But Thor Ragnarok is a rare standout with the Marvel movies. Like it's a good movie if you like bought a brand new like 4K HDR TV and you want to test out like your colors and shit, see how many nits of brightness you can max out at. Definitely pop Thor Ragnarok in. It's got a cool story, but for the most part, it's mostly just a visual experience. A tier. Avengers Affinity War, probably B tier. It was pretty good. Not enough to get an A tier. Not mid tier enough to go to C. Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield. That's a D tier. That's a D tier. Jamie Foxx looked fucking weird as Electro. I did not like that. He, I need to, in case you haven't seen this movie, uh, he looked fucking weird. I don't know why they made him look like this. This is what this man looked like in the movie. What? What? What the fuck is with that? Zoom in on that. Zoom in on the teeth gap. Zoom in on that teeth gap. We're gonna get. Mm-hmm. Yep. D tier. The first Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. Mm, that's a B tier. That was a pretty good movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp. C tier. First Ant-Man, also C tier. Very average. Aquaman, B tier. Pretty cool visuals. I think someone punched a shark in the face. That definitely gets you some points. B tier. Avengers Endgame, A tier. Not something I'm really keen to watch again in the future, but it's up there. It's not in the holy realm of S tier, but it's pretty close. The original Adam West Batman film. I've seen some of the episodes of the TV show. I have not seen the film. I can just put that shit right in the haven't seen category. You know what? In fact, let me go through and kind of weed out some of this that I haven't seen. I haven't seen these two Punisher movies. I have no idea what the fuck those are. I have not seen any of the Kick-Ass films. I can't comment on that. Haven't seen the Lego Batman movie. I have not seen the third X-Men film or Megamind. Shockingly, I know everyone's fucking seen Megamind. It's a big old meme. Have not seen Megamind. Have not seen the shitty Fantastic Four reboot. I've heard it's shit though. Uh, I haven't seen Green Hornet or Green Lantern. Or Hero, Big Hero 6. It's a Disney movie, I think, isn't it? Babe, is Big Hero 6 a Disney movie? Okay, yeah, that is a Disney. I think that's it. Okay. Batman and Robin. People dump all over this. This is an amazing film to watch if you're absolutely shit tier, like like gassed on alcohol. If you're fucking sloshed, pop in Batman and Robin. You're gonna have a great time. B tier. Batman Begins. Christopher Nolan. Mm, that's an S tier. That's an S tier. I really can't think of anything wrong with this film. Great origin story for Batman for the modern ages. Put that in S tier. Batman Forever. I'm actually gonna put this in D tier. It's like shit, kind of like Batman and Robin, but unlike that, it's not nearly as entertaining. You don't get nearly as many laughs if you're like blackout drunk when you're watching Batman Forever. It's kind of boring, to be completely honest. I'm gonna put that in D tier. Batman Returns with Danny DeVito. That's A tier. That's A tier right there. That is a great film. Danny DeVito. Again, in case people who are watching have not seen what this man looks like in Batman Returns, costume design on point. Look at this. Oh my god. Look at the teeth. Again, the teeth. It all comes back to the teeth. Look at that. Get a zoom in teeth. Oh my god. Great film. Great. Original Batman with Michael Keaton. S tier. The visuals on that by Tim Burton. Amazing. S tier. Now, I know people shit all over this, but I'm a Zack Snyder fanboy. I love Batman vs Superman, especially the director's cut. I'm gonna put that in A tier. I know that's a controversial choice. A lot of people would immediately put this in F tier. But I'm gonna go against the grain. I like Zack Snyder. I like the tone of the films. I'm gonna put that in A tier, especially the director's cut. It kind of fleshes out some of the complaints that people have about the original movie. Black Panther, mid, mid as fuck. Oh, Blade 2, A tier. Wesley Snipes killed it. Same with Blade 1, A tier. The third Blade, though, hot ass. That's F tier. This is absolute shit. Also, um, a fun fact about Blade 3, Wesley Snipes was being a little fucking prima donna on the set of the movie. And there's a scene where he's supposed to be lying on a table with his eyes open, and he refused to actually open his eyes for that scene. So he literally, they were yelling at him. They were like, Wesley, Wesley, open your fucking eyes for the scene. Just like 2 seconds. We just need you to open your eyes for 2 seconds. He would not budge. So they had to CGI in his eyes and make them look open. Look at that. Look at that. That's, oh my God. That's so bad. F tier. First Captain America, C tier. It's all right. That's a lot of these Marvel movies. There's like nothing really noteworthy about them, but they're not like ass either. That's a lot of these Marvel movies, actually. Second Captain America though, Winter Soldier, that's A tier. That's A tier for sure. Really cool set pieces. Cinematography work is really good. They have a lot of cool long sequences where the camera doesn't cut, like it follows the whole action, and you can tell there's no like jump cuts or anything. They do a really good job with. It. That's A. Catwoman, that's ass. That's F tier. One of the stupidest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. All right, we're getting into the weeds now. Hey, honey. Ooh, Logan, that's S tier. That movie should have won the Oscar. Incredible acting by Hugh Jackman. I cried in the theater. Should have brought a tissue. S tier. Right? Let's see. Chronicle. For anyone who doesn't know what Chronicle is, that's that superhero movie where the kids like find a meteor and then they get superpowers from it and then they like fight each other because they have teen angst. It's all right, but it's cool because like it's a found footage movie. Like one of the kids is like filming the whole thing, so it's like you're watching it like on a grainy like VHS feed. Um, that's B tier. That's pretty fun movie. I'd probably only watch it like once or twice though. Nothing. It has a couple cool things to stand out above just like mid grade C, but not enough to get up to A. Daredevil with Ben Affleck. This was back in 2003, I think, and people shit all over this. But again, kind of like Batman vs Superman, I ask, have you seen the director's cut? Because that's actually pretty good. I'm gonna put the director's cut specifically of Daredevil. Now, the theatrical, I'd probably put that in like D or E. It's kind of shitty. Um, but the director's cut is pretty good. They flesh out some more shit with uh, Wilson Fisk and that character, and they really kind of fixed a lot of the problems that movie. That's B tier. Dark Knight Rises, again, people dump all over this. Um, not nearly to the extent of like Catwoman or Blade 3 or whatever, but people shit on this, and it's definitely not as good as the other two Christopher Nolan Batman films, but I'd still put this in at least B tier. It's a great film. Great film. Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. I know it's the schizo incel edge lord icon that Heath Ledger made, and that he has doomed us all to have to live in the same Earth that everybody now identifies with that character. But if you just are judging the actual film, 10 out of 10. Uh, there's nothing wrong with this. This is the perfect film. 10 out of 10. S tier. First Deadpool. Uh, B tier. It's fun, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a boring boomer now, but I feel like a lot of the humor doesn't resonate with me as much as it did when I first watched it. It's still fun though. Like it's just I don't know. There's most like R-rated superhero movies like at least have some sort of like fun redeeming qualities. Um, and the gore in the movie is like pretty top notch, and they had a lot of cool practical effects, like rather than CGI for certain stuff. So I'd put that in B two. First Doctor Strange, again C, like a lot of Marvel movies. Same thing for these two Fantastic Four movies from the mid 2000s. They're cool, and I enjoyed watching them as a kid, but they're just kind of average now. Um, I can't really think of anything particular. Like I can't remember a single quote from any of these movies. I can't remember like a single action set piece. Deadpool one was edgy humor, but yeah, it's like it's an edge lord film. It's an edge lord film. Those are fine though. Those are fun in small doses. Um, the both Ghost Rider films with Nick Cage, I'm gonna put those immediately in A tier. Purely because Nick Cage, he gives his all to performance. Nick Cage could get handed the most dog shit script of all time, and it would still be a good movie just because he's in it. That man commits to every role that he has ever given, and I respect that. And he hammed the fuck out of every scene in Ghost Rider. and as a result, they're incredibly fun to watch. A tier for sure. Glass, I have not seen that. Um, that's the M Night Shyamalan film that just came out like 2 3 years ago. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was slightly better than your average Marvel film. Um, People slobbed all over its knob at release, and I don't really know if it deserved it, but it's still a pretty fun film. I'll put it in D tier. Same for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume. It's fun. It's fun. It's slightly above average, but not enough for A or S tier. Hancock with Will Smith. I'm gonna put this in C tier, not because it's average, but because the movie feels like two parts. Like it feels like two movies that got smushed together. Because like the plot completely changes after like an hour and a half, and then it just kind of completely falls apart with the weird plot twist that they have. But that first like hour or whatever is like really good, but then the second half is really bad. So that averages out to average. Both Hellboy movies with Ron Perlman, those are A tier for sure. Guillermo del Toro did a great adaptation of Hellboy, and Ron Perlman is the definitive Hellboy. I didn't even watch that shitty fucking remake that they had come out. Whereas I just didn't want to see anyone else other than Ron Perlman as Hellboy. I don't even think it's on here. They had the common sense not to even put it in there. So the Ang Lee Hulk film, that's an A tier. That's a controversial decision, but they did some really cool stuff with the Ang Lee Hulk film. Um, I want to show everybody. Uh, there's a really cool scene where um, they're not gonna. They don't have the specific scene I'm looking for. Oh well, I'm not gonna be able to find it probably. But they had a really cool style of editing where, um, yeah, I see you, DMCA. They'd probably just mute that section anyway. It's a YouTube video. I'm not actually playing the film, but they had a really cool style of editing where like it would like pan out, like the camera would like like pan out, and it would be like a comic panel, and they had like some cool like transition effects from scene to scene, and it took a risk. It took a risk. Some of it is kind of dog, but I really just have to appreciate that they did so much different. So it goes right in the A tier, right? First Thor movie, again, C. Like a lot of these Marvel movies. Incredibles 2, that's also a C. I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as the first one, which is a B tier. That goes right. It was pretty average. First Iron Man, that's an A tier. That was before all the Marvel movies became the same fucking copy and paste formula. First Iron Man was actually pretty good. That's A tier. Justice League, again, like some of these movies on here, if this was the theatrical version, I'd put this in F. This was hot fucking ass. With the Zack Snyder director's cut, that's 4 hours long that just came out. That's a S tier. That's a S tier. That's one of my favorite fucking films of a superhero variety. And I urge anyone that hasn't seen the Zack Snyder Justice League to at least give it a shot. It's really fucking good. It is 4 hours long though, so make sure you set aside a little bit of time. The first Henry Cavill Superman, or only Henry Cavill Superman, uh, that's a B tier. It was pretty good, um, but it's only slightly above average on repeat view. Nacho Libre, I don't think I've actually seen Nacho Libre. I've seen clips of it on YouTube, but I've never actually seen it. Why is this in the superhero movies category? Does he get superpowers in that film? In chat, tell me. Does Nacho Libre get... Babe, ask the wife for help. Does Nacho Libre get superhero powers in that movie? No? I'm hearing a no. Then why is it on the superhero tier list? That's more like a Mexican like luchadore like parody film. This shouldn't be on the superhero tier list. That why is this here? All right, Deadpool 2. Again, I'll put it in the same category as the first one, B tier. Josh Brolin killed it as Cable. His character was a lot of fun. I'm gonna put that. The first Punisher with Thomas Jane. Mm, that's some edgelord Kino. Thomas Jane killed it. He chews the scenery. It's really, really, really edgy. Um, I guess Cat says, I guess wrestling for charity is considered a super. Okay, so he's like a hero, but he's not like a superhero. He doesn't have powers. Okay. Shazam. I have not seen that. I've heard it's good, but I haven't seen it. I'm not going to pass judgment on any film that I actually haven't seen. I hate people that do that. I hate people that like hear that a movie's dog and then they just like that's the opinion that they roll with the rest of their life. I haven't seen any of these movies, so I'm not going to say shit about them. The first MCU Spider-Man movie, mm, that's kind of mid actually. I'm going to put that in C tier. Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, controversial choice. People shit all over it and they say it's stupid, but that's A tier. It's not as good as the other two, which are in S tier, but it's pretty good. Aside from Venom being kind of haphazardly thrown in at the last minute, um, and again, Venom being separate from the symbiote conflict with his suit and everything, that was cool. But Venom himself is like that gets bonded with Eddie Brock. That gets thrown in like the last like 15 minutes of the movie, and it really felt like it was just like crammed in last minute. And I know it was based on all the director interviews and shit that happened after the movie came out. But aside from the kind of cramming in of that subplot at the last minute, it's still a really, really good film and has the same kind of tonal consistency as the other movies. So that's A tier. Spider-Man 2, if I could, can I put that at the front? Yes. Best superhero movie of all time, Spider-Man 2. Uh, Not only because it's an incredible film, even ignoring all the superhero stuff, um, but because of this when Tobey Maguire is stopping the train and he looks like he's about to shit his fucking pants. That's just perfect. You can't. Yeah, I love that shit. That's just prime meme material. Prime meme material. Suicide Squad. Baby, remember the Suicide Squad? The one with Will Smith? That was dog shit, wasn't it? It had the weird witch thing at the end. Yeah, yeah. I'm getting an F tier from the wife on Suicide Squad. Even she didn't like that shit. Movie sucked ass. Superman 3 with Richard Pryor, that's it's not completely dog shit like an F tier, but it's not much better. That's a E tier. Like the first it's the weirdest movie. It's the weirdest movie. The first two Christopher Reeves Superman movies were like completely serious. Like it had a little bit of humor and like a couple jokes, but like they were ultimately like a feel good movie about like him trying to like save the world and all that shit. And it was like it was a drama almost. It was a drama. And then the third one comes out and it's like a buddy cop comedy with Richard Pryor. It's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen, and that's why it's an E tier. It's like you have to watch it just to see like it's so fucking weird. It's so weird. That's the E tier. Superman 2, especially the Richard Donner cut, that's S tier. Absolute classic of superhero cinema. Same thing with Superman 1. Christopher Reeves, probably the greatest Superman that's been on the screen. He just he's he's just so warm and just caring and everything, just like Superman is in the comics. He just embodies what Superman is. S tier. Those are perfect films. Those are perfect films. Superman 4, Quest for Peace, that's dog shit. That's not even interesting like Superman 3. Like Superman 4 is just like shit. It's garbage. The Superman Returns reboot with Brandon Ruth, that's a B tier. It was pretty good, and it's like a weird like quasi sequel to Superman 2, even though it's not the same actor, but it's like I think it's still set in the same continuity. I might move that up to A tier. I remember it. I remember the scene where he catches the airplane. was like incredibly well done for 2006 when it came out. And I remember being like just blown away with that scene. I'll put that in A tier. Unbreakable, that's a S tier. That's an M Night Shyamalan masterpiece. I would urge anyone that hasn't seen Unbreakable. I'm not even going to spoil it, but Bruce Willis is like a cool, like edgy, like modern day superhero. But I'm not going to spoil it because there's just like any other fucking M Night Shyamalan movie. There's plot twists, so I don't want to spoil anything. Samuel L. Jackson's in that too. He's a great villain. Go watch that if you haven't. The first Venom movie, mm, B tier, slightly above average. Watchmen by Zack Snyder, that's A tier. I don't think it's nearly as good as his director's cut of Justice League, but it's pretty fucking good. Especially again the director's cut. There's like director's cuts like half these fucking movies on here. It's pretty good. Uh, the Wolverine. I'm gonna put this in B tier just because of the intro scene where he's stuck in like World War II Japan and the nuke gets dropped and he survives the nuke and like they show the nuke go off and everything. It was crazy, crazy fucking scene. That's enough for a B tier at least. The first Wonder Woman, mm, that's a B tier, slightly above average. Haven't seen X Men Apocalypse actually. Days of Future Past, that's a S tier. That's the best X Men film. I wish they had ended it there. It had a perfect fucking ending. It had like a happy ending. They like fixed the timeline or whatever weird shit that was going on, and then they made more that were like apparently really weird. Um, X Men First Class, uh, mid, pretty average. James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender were pretty good as Professor X and Magneto, respectively. Though X Men Origins Wolverine, people dump on this, and it's pretty bad, but it's not as bad as like an F tier, but it's still pretty bad. I'll put it in D tier. It's kind of shit. It's kind of shit. And the first X Men was B. It was cool to see the X Men on screen for the first time, but I don't know. It it's all right on repeat viewings. I mean, it's slightly above average. There's not much else to say. But now we can zoom out, and there you have it. There's my official superhero tier list. I'm gonna save. Can I save this? Download image? Anyway, I'll figure out how to download this and I'll put it in my Discord in case anyone wants to argue with me about it or fight me about it. And then I'll 1v1 you on Halo to settle the issue. Um, but yeah, I'll put that in the community Discord and we can fight about it later. All right, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Have a good evening.